getting into the SRT. It's been a week since I've made a video about the SRT here, and this may not be a video about the car itself, but about the future cars that my girlfriend and I are looking for. We actually were having this discussion here yesterday about what vehicles she is going to buy and what vehicle I am going to buy. And I'll go over me first. So I have about 2.5 years left on my truck. So I'll be starting my car search here in about another year and a half, somewhere around there. Just so when I'm ready to buy, I'm ready to buy. I'm going to keep my truck. I don't see why there's any reason to get rid of it here. It's got relatively low miles. That Hemi's going to last quite a while. And there's nothing really new and exciting in the Ram trucks besides the whole center screen, or the driver's information screen being all digital. But I'm not too worried about that. That's not going to get me to buy an $85,000 truck. So with that being said, I can't wait to go to some dealerships and try some cars out. Of course, you know what I'm most likely going to buy, and it all comes down to price and money and how much I want to pay, either cash or a payment. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. If I want to eventually actually keep this car I have here, then I can only buy something that is cheaper, and then I've got insurance costs associated with that. Or if I want to sell this, and then I could buy a $35,000 car with just pure cash if I sell this, and I just pay the rest of it with cash. Or I could sell this, use it as down payment to buy a $50,000 car and have that money as a loan, or a $40,000 car or whatever, and just get a loan on it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But anyway, what I've kind of narrowed it down to, and it's not a huge narrowing down of choices, is, the top three, of course, are the Chrysler 300C 392, a Dodge Charger Scat Pack, wide body or not, and a Challenger Scat Pack, wide body or not, or just 3 iterations of those cars. It could be a Charger Hellcat, could be a Challenger Hellcat, anything with a 392 or bigger engine. So I've narrowed it down to those 3 choices. Must have been some dirt in the road there. So like I was saying, I narrowed it down to those 3 choices. Some other choices that are on the back burner. A 4th choice would be the CT6V Blackwing. I saw one on Auto Trader. It kind of had high miles, but it was like 53 grand and it had 53,000 miles on it. So that is another good choice here that I've thought about. We'll see though. I gotta give it to Cadillac. I like what they have to offer. I like the packages that they have with their vehicles. I don't like their underwhelming base model performance engines. They fucking suck. So, but I wouldn't be buying a base model anyway. I would be buying a V or a Blackwing version of one of their vehicles. I do like that CT6V a lot. There was only 500 made. It's a huge ass vehicle with a ton of power, so I really like that. I do like the ATS-V as well as a cheaper option, except I want to try to keep it V8, and that is a twin turbo 6. So I kind of want to keep it V8, although that is an intriguing option because it still has a ton of horsepower, 465, and a ton of torque, and it has some of the best driving dynamics of any vehicle out there, besides the new CT4V Blackwing. So That's kind of on the back burner as well. Another car that's very, very rare that you just never see is the Lexus GSF. That car is an option as well, as long as it's a 2016 or newer when they came out. And the Lexus IS 500, both naturally aspirated V8s. Kind of very expensive for what you get though. The interior is nice, except that infotainment system they have fucking sucks. So, but it does sound good, just like this Hemi. Oh, you gotta love that sound. So, that is an option as well. I don't really think there's too many other options out there in terms of a vehicle. I'd love to keep it 300 Charger Challenger for sure, and that's kind of what I'm leaning to. I guess another car here is the Chevy SS with that 6.2 liter. The only problem is with that, though, it's vastly underpowered, although from all the reviews that I've heard, say that it sounds great and the driving dynamics of the car are second to none. GM does have great driving dynamics, and some of their steering is the best in the game. So that car is also a rare option as well, if a good deal or whatever pops up. Although I'm not a fan of the exterior design per se on that car, because it doesn't show off as much as any of the other cars do. That is also there, maybe a Camaro SS convertible, but that's a very, that's a bottom of the pack option. Otherwise, that's about it for performance cars that have tickled my senses in terms of buying. So again, I'd like to keep it 300. Like to keep a Charger, like to keep a Challenger, something like that. CT6 Blackwing, that's on there as well. Very cool car. It's all-wheel drive. It's got a sinister look to it. I mean, you walk out of that car and you look like a complete mobster. It is pretty cool, just like this car actually. Awesome. So anyway, I was talking to my girlfriend about her next vehicle, and of course we want to keep it Stellantis. So two options that came up to mind first was the Durango RT Tow and Go, like the parents already have, and I use that a little bit. I love it. You can check out the videos. It's a great vehicle with the 5.7 Hemi, and it has to be loud. That one is very freaking loud. The next vehicle on the list would be the Grand Cherokee L with the 5.7 liter. The Grand Cherokee was on the same platform as the Durango, so you already know the story there. This, of course, is the updated Grand Cherokee L. We actually sat in that vehicle, and it did have the 3.6. That was vastly underpowered for that big of a truck. It needs the 5.7 in it at least before they put the twin turbo 6 in there after the Hemi is gone. So we're gonna look for one of those, and of course it's got to be an Overland or higher. She wants just about every option on there, so it's got to be at least an Overland, and it could be a Summit if we can find that, but it's got to be under a certain price about. So kind of tough. Kind of tough to find. And then, of course, Durango RT Tow and Go. Maybe throw an older SRT Durango in there, too. Although I don't like that old media interface, what the Durango had before the update in 21. So, we'll see. Those are some options. And if she can't quite afford a 3-row SUV, I said check out the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Although we would like to keep it V8 because this is probably, she said, the last gas-powered car she is going to buy. I said, okay, well, let's try out some electric vehicles then, too. So, you can see these fucking windows fog up. Every time I drive to work, every time during this last stretch there's a swamp, and it fogs up the fucking windows. Now you can see it's going away. Fogs up the fucking windows, and then it takes 15 minutes for it to go away by the time I get to work. Jesus. And of course, when you put on the of course, when you put on the, you can see I must have a fuse out. That button isn't working. The defogger, it never freaking works. Never works to defog your windows. The rear one does, but the front one never does. Oh, yeah. So I said check out the Stelvio. You know, that's a good option. That's a turbo 4. It's a boosted 4. It sounds great. It's got really good driving dynamics. And I said check out she doesn't really like full-size cars, but I said check out the CT6 with the 3.0 twin turbo in the sport model. And that looks like the V, but it's not. It would be similar to like the CT5V and the CT4V, and not like the V Blackwing version. So that's what that would be like there. I said check that out. That's got tons of space. It's a big ass vehicle. It's like the size of an S-Class, and you know, you get a pretty fast engine in there too. I think that 3.0 twin turbo is like 410 horsepower, 410 foot-pound torque. So not bad in a full-size car. It's definitely no SRT, but it's damn close. It's damn close. I said check that car out. That's pretty cool. But in about another year here, we'll be car shopping for her as well, where we're going to be going to some dealerships and checking it out. But on the downside of a car,
I'm not sure I understand.
On the downside of a car, we can't do any towing. So that's kind of the downside there. And if we ever get a camper, which I doubt it we will with me owning the course, but with the boat or trailer, anything that I had to pull for work, I could just hook on with her car instead of having to take the truck all over the place, which is really nice. So I don't know what we're going to do yet. We just got to weigh some pros and cons. You know, of course, a car, if we buy CT6, is going to be cheaper. I would tell her to buy a Charger 300. The only problem is you can't get those with a V8 and all-wheel drive, and that 3.6 sounds like shit and it's slow as shit. So not okay. Can't buy anything with that. You know, it's a damn shame they got rid of the Hemi with the all-wheel drive. That would be a seller to women. That is for sure. So those are kind of the cars that we are looking at here, and we'll see what happens. I'm really curious to start this car search in terms of what I can find and what I can find for her and what really piques her interest. Right now, at the way top of her list is the Jeep Grand Cherokee L with the 5.7, and the Durango sits below a little bit. I don't know if she was as impressed with that. You know, I was impressed with it because of the tow rating. It's a tow rating of 87 or 8,900 pounds. I want to say it's 8,700 pounds. So you could tow a big-ass boat with that, and which seems pretty sweet. And that is going to be ultimately the cheaper choice, too. The Grand Cherokee L, look at this. This is awful. Look at that moon, too. Oh, my gosh. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. The Grand Cherokee L is going to be more expensive. So, you know, you're going to have the nicer interior with the L. You're going to have the waterfall massaging seats, the really nice infotainment system, stuff like that. Really nice third row, second row captain's chairs. The Durango, don't get me wrong, is really nice too. That's just a lot more sporty and a lot more fun to drive. And that's what I would recommend personally, especially with the tow rating on there. So that's kind of what we're leaning towards. I'm really curious to start the car search here and see what is going to happen. But in terms of my car, I'm hoping that I can keep this mileage down on the vehicle a little bit, and kind of, you know, drive the truck a little bit more and see what happens here within the next couple years in terms of what vehicle I'm going to get as well. I would really love to get into a Charger wide body, although I don't know if those prices will go down in a couple years. It's just so tough to tell because this is, of course, the last year of the Hemi in 2023. So I don't know if those Chargers are going to go down in price or not. I guess the market will tell, but I want to get my hands on one of those sooner than later, and it just sucks I got a goddamn truck payment right now. But it'd be pointless to have payments on two vehicles. My second vehicle I like to buy with cash. So again, that I have to take into consideration as well. But I love this 300. I love it. The one thing holding it back is a goddamn transmission. I'm not a fan of transmission on here. That 8-speed is just so much better than this old 5-speed was. And they put these into their SRT vehicles up until 2014. 2014. So getting into a 2015 or newer with that 8-speed is perfect. So we will see what happens. But in overall, I think we're going to stick with Stellantis. It just depends on the deals on those other cars, what can be found. You know, even electric, even getting into like an electric SUV, an Audi, or a Ford Mustang Mach-E. I guess it just really depends on the deals that come out and if she wants to buy one of those or not. I told her to hop into an electric. I said, we already got the truck for towing. I got the truck for work, so it's no big deal. I said, hop into an electric. You can charge at work because she works for me as a part-time job. And I says, your full-time job, you're not even going to need to charge. You can just plug in at the house if you want. But that's it. That's all you're going to have to do at work. It's a tax write-off. It's a deductible expense. It's not a tax write-off, but it's a business expense. So you're technically running it through the business as an expense. And it's still costing money, but it's not costing me money at home. So it's just one more way to, help out the business a little bit and promote EV car growth. So we'll see what happens here. I have driven the Tesla Model X and the Polestar 2, and while I absolutely hate how the Model X looks, it was a decent drive. I will give it that, but I will never buy a Tesla product. I can't buy anything from Elon Musk. He's an idiot. Polestar 2, the car was really nice, although it just didn't fit my fancy. It just wasn't for me. Wasn't my style of car. Although the interior was nice, it reminded me of a Volvo. It just really didn't suit me. So, the Mustang Mach-E is a very good choice, American made, made by Ford, or even that Audi. The Audi e-tron, that would be another great choice. Luxurious interior, luxurious car.
I didn't get that. Could you try
the
again?
Second time. And that would be a good option there as well. So we'll see what happens. Looking forward to the car search. Stay subscribed here for any more little vlog updates like this. And what cars we're going to get in the future. I'm definitely going to be making some more videos here on some comparisons and stuff like that.